Hello dear students, how are you all? I will hope you all are fine. I am Bhupendra Verma, your science teacher. So dear students, today we are going to start second part of chapter tissue of class 9th biology. So let us begin today's section. First is epidermis tissue. What is epidermis? The outermost layer of the cell is known as epidermis. Outermost layer of the cell is known as epidermis. It covers the entire plant. It covers the entire plant. It is a thin layer of the single cells, but it places with the less water. The epidermis of the plant can become thick in order to avoid frequent loss of water. And the cells are flat and they have no intercellular spaces between them. The outer walls of epidermal cells are thick and inner walls are thin. The epidermal cells often have a long hair-like structures in roots which facilitate the absorption of water, and the main function of epidermis is to protect the plants from fungi, water loss and any injuries by secretes a wax like water resistant substance called cuticle on the surface of the plants which protects the plants. So let us understand what is epidermis and what are the working of epidermis tissue. The outermost layer of the plant cell is from epidermis. The outermost layer of the plant cells or plant surface is made up of epidermis tissue like our body have a outer covering is a skin. In similar sense, epidermis is the outer coating of the plant cells. It covers the entire plant. Like our skin covers our whole body or whole body in similar sense, epidermis tissue cover the entire plant. It is a thin layer of the single cells but places where the less water. Okay. Generally, the epidermis is a thin layer of the cells are tightly packed. But in the places where the frequent water loss and the less water is present, like in desert area, in the plants of cactus like, this layer is thicker than can prevent from the frequent loss of water. That can prevent from the frequent loss of water. ये जो लेयर है कैक्टस जैसे प्लांट्स में जो ज़ेरोफाइटा की फैमिली में आते हैं उनमें से एक्सेस ऑफ वाटर लॉस को प्रिवेंट करती है एंड द सेल्स आर फ्लैट एंड दे हैव नो इंटरसेल्युलर स्पेस बिटवीन देम व्हाट काइंड ऑफ द स्ट्रक्चर सेल आर फ्लैट and no intercellular space between them. They are joined and packed together tightly. And the outer walls of the epidermal cells are thick and inner walls are thin. Outer walls of the epidermal cells are thick and the inner walls are thin. That means two walls, that is outer are the thicker and the inner are the thinner one of the cell. The epidermal cells often have the long hair-like structures in roots which facilitate the absorption of water. We discuss about the root system. In the roots, the small hair-like projection that are the unicellular projection present over the root endings or tips known as root hairs and say hair-like structures that facilitate the absorption of water. They help to absorb the absorption of water. They help to absorb the water by process of osmosis. The root hairs that are present on the roots of the plant are the part of epidermal cell and help to absorb the water through osmosis process from the soil. The main function of the epidermis is to protect the plant from fungus attack, water loss and any injuries by the secretes as a wax water resistant called as cuticle. Okay. So main function of the epidermis like skin protect us from external injury, fungal attack etc. In similar sense, epidermis tissue protect the plant from fungi, fungus attack, frequent water loss or injuries. How? By secreting a wax-like water-resistant substance called cuticle. How they protect? So secrete a wax-like substance known as cuticle, that is a topmost layer of the plant cells, that is known as cuticle. A waxy substance that is secreted by epidermal cells on the surface of the plant which protects the plant from water loss, fungus attack and external injury. I hope student you got it well. Epidermis tissue. Let us discuss next is stomata. What is a stomata? Stomata are the tiny pores like structure that are present in the epidermis of the leaves. Stomata are tiny pore like structures that are present in the surface of leaf. They are the mostly present in the bottom surface of leaf and their percentage is less in the top surface of leaves. And what is the function of these? These stomata pores are open and closed with the help of a special type of cells known as guard cells. Suppose this is a structure of stomata, and these the kidney-like structures is shown is known as guard cells, and this is known as stomatal pore. The middle is known as stomatal pore, and the surrounding the kidney-like structures are known as guard cells. They help to opening and closing of stomata. So how they open and close? When they swallow the water or under endosmosis, then they become turgid, then stomata is open. When they expel the water and release the water through exosmosis, in that case the stomata will close and spore is closed now. Guard cells are responsible for exchange of gases during respiration and photosynthesis process. You know well, guard cells open and close to exchange the gases and also help in transpiration process. Also in the transpiration process, there are three processes: respiration, photosynthesis and transpiration. Now we have to discuss here transpiration. And respiration and photosynthesis we'll discuss in class 10th. Next is transpiration. The plant cells, when sometimes have the extra water, then they lose it in the form of water vapors through stomata is called as transpiration. That means in easy sense we say the process of removal of extra water through the stomatal pores of present on the leaves is known as transpiration. So what is the function? Why the plants do transpiration process? Role of transpiration: prevent the plants from overheating. That means to regulate the plant body temperature. To regulate the plant body temperature, like when we are sweating in our body, when we are sweating from our body, then it can regulate our body temperature. In similar sense, plants secrete the excess of water through the stomatal pores from in form of vapors. These vapors under evaporation process exchange the heat energy with the surrounding and gives the cooling effect to the plants. And transportation of the food and water particles. Transpiration process provide a suction pull. Transpiration process provide a suction pull, like we use a straw to drink a juice from a glass. Then we suck the juice, provide a pressure, then internal juice is lift up. In similar sense, beta, the plants transpiration process, then the leaves secrete the excess of the water, then they provide the suction pressure to the roots and they help in absorption of water and nutrients. And they also help in transportation of food that is transported by the phloem tissue in the plants. So how they help to transfer the food with the help of phloem tissue? Because they also provide the suction pressure to the movement of food particles. I hope you understand well movement of the water in plants. This is called transpiration pull or suction pull. Next is why is it necessary for why the gas is necessary for process of photosynthesis. The carbon dioxide gas is necessary for process of photosynthesis, and plant use carbon dioxide along with the water and sunlight to produce the glucose. That is a process of photosynthesis, and plants take the carbon dioxide and release oxygen as a byproduct under photosynthesis. So plants prepare their food in form of glucose but store in form of starch. Plant prepare their food in form of glucose but store in form of starch. Got it, students? Next is why do plants in the desert areas have a waxy coating of cutin over them? We know that the plants that are grown in the desert area, they prevent from the frequent loss of water for their sustaining life. So that's why they have the thick coating present over them, and the thick coating of cuticle is present over them. They help to prevent the loss of water. Next is why do the branches of the old trees are different than the stems of new plant? Why do branches of old trees are different than the stems of new plant? As a plant grows older, the meristematic cell starts covering the upper layer of the plants instead of the epidermis. You know that when the meristematic tissue grow up, it's converted into permanent tissue and it's become a upper part, and the permanent tissue become a lower part. These are the dead cells that have the no special function in the plants but provide them rigidity, that means a strength. They have a make the branches of the plant thick. This is often called bark or thick cork of the tree. bark or thick cork of tree, इसे हम पेड़ की छाल कहते हैं. The bark of the tree contains a substance called suberin, which makes it waterproof that do not allow the gaseous exchange through the stem. Bark of the tree contains a substance called suberin, a polythene-like substance that help make it waterproof and help in prevent the gaseous exchange. So how the plant respires through the stem? In this cuticle layer, some pores are present known as lenticels that help to your respiration process or the lenticel holes. I hope students you got it up to here. Let's understand now next concept is complex permanent tissue. Our complex permanent tissue is a two kinds, and you know that well. Complex permanent tissue comprises of the different kind of cells. It's made up of different kind of cell, and these different types of cells coordinate with each other and perform a common function in these tissues. And the two complex permanent tissue are xylem and phloem. So let us discuss one by one xylem and phloem tissue. What is the similarity between both of them? Their main function is to carry food and water in plants. Their main function is to carry food and water in plants. Food carried by phloem, water carried by xylem. Both have the vascular bundle, which is conductive tissue in plants that help them survive in different environmental conditions. What is the meaning of conducting? They make the chain-like structures to provide the material from one part to another part. So let us discuss one by one. First is xylem. The xylem is a complex permanent tissue which conducts the water and minerals from the roots to the different parts of plant. Which conduct the water from roots to different parts of plant, especially in leaves. It is also responsible for mechanical strength of plant because it have the dead cells, so it is responsible for mechanical strength of plant. It composed of four elements: tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem fibers, and xylem parenchyma. The four components of xylem are xylem tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem fibers, and xylem parenchyma. Let us discuss one by one. Tracheids. Tracheids are elongated tube-like structures. They have thick cells with trapping ends and lignified cell walls. Tracheids have elongated structure, that means narrow at the ending, elongated tube-like structures, and they have the thick cell walls with the trapping ends and lignified cell walls. Their cell walls are made up of lignin, and the cells are dead and without protoplasm. So tracheids of xylem are dead, have no protoplasm in it. Vessels. Vessels are the cylinder-like structures made up of many cells called vessel membranes. Vessel members, not a vessel members. Okay, vessel members. The cells possess a large cell cavity and the cell walls are lignified. Cell walls are lignified. What are the vessels? They are the cylinder-like structure made up of many cells called cell members. These vessels are made up of number of cells. These cells through which it is made up of are called cell members. And their cells are also made up of lignin. Next is xylem fiber. They are highly thickened walls and oblated lumen. Their lumen is oblated. Lumen means internal opening. Oblateral lumen. And xylem parenchyma. And the xylem fibers looking like this. Oblated lumen, that means not a straight lumen. Xylem parenchyma. The cells are living and thin-walled. Their walls are made up of cellulose. Xylem parenchyma is responsible for radial conduction of the water in plants. Radial conduction means they are towards the girth. Conduct the water towards the girth of the plant, उसकी मोटाई की तरफ. Radial conduction. It is also stores the food in the form of starch and fat and the substances such as tannin. So which part of the xylem store the food? Xylem parenchyma store the food in form of tannin. Tannin is a form of food that is stored by xylem. Next is phloem. Phloem is made up of living cells and it allows the movement of food from leaves to other parts of the plant. Phloem is made up of living cells and it allows the movement of food from leaves to other part of plant, and it has the following elements. So first of all, it has a bisection movement. So suppose there is a leaf, then it can transport the food up downside and upside both. So it is a not a unidirectional, it is a bidirectional. First component of phloem is sieve tubes. The broad shaped cells with the porous wall. broad shaped cells with the porous. Porous means have a holes in it. Have a holes in it called as sieve tubes, looking like a siver. Next is companion cells. The facilitate functions of the sieve tubes. What is the function of companion cells? Companion cells are connect with the your phloem vessels through which it's connect the companion cells, and they facilitate the function of sieve tubes. That means help to pass the water through the sieves. Phloem fibers provide flexibility to the phloem. Phloem fiber provide flexibility to the phloem. And next is phloem parenchyma, stores starch and protein. So now we are going to discuss the difference between xylem and phloem. It's clearly to you, it's again clear to all differences and what is the function of both of them. First, it conducts water and minerals. It conducts stored food. Conduction is mostly unidirectional. That means only in single direction, from roots to leaves only, from roots to apical parts of the plant. That means leaves especially. It is conduction may be bidirectional, from leaves to storage organs or growing parts of the storage organ to growing parts of plant. Conducting channels are trachea elements and tracheids. Conducting channels, that means the water conducting parts are trachea elements and tracheids vessels. What are trachea elements? Tracheids and vessels are water conducting in xylem. Conducting channels are only sieve tubes in phloem. In xylem, components of the xylem includes tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fiber. Components of the phloem include sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. The 3 or the 4 elements of the xylem are dead. 3 of the 4 out of 4, 3 are dead. What are dead? Tracheids, vessel, and fibers are dead. Only xylem parenchyma is living that can store food. 3 of the 4 elements are living. Sieve tubes, companion cells, and phloem parenchyma are living, and only phloem fiber is dead. Only phloem fiber is dead. In addition to conduction, xylem provides mechanical strength to the plant. In addition to conduction, xylem provides the mechanical strength to plant, and phloem perform a no mechanical function for the plants. I hope students you got it up to here. What is the difference between xylem and phloem, and what is xylem and phloem tissue? Let us now discuss animal tissue. Animal tissue is basically 4 types: epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, and nervous tissue. So in this section we only discuss epithelial tissue. So let's go on flow chart of epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue is classified into basically 5 types. Squamous, that means flat structures. Cuboidal, have a cubical structure. Columnar, like a pillar like structures. Ciliated, a cilia, hair like structures present over them. And glandular, secretory, that secrete the enzymes and waxes. So let us discuss one by one. First is epithelial tissue. What is epithelial tissue? They are the protective tissue in the human. They cover the many organs and cavities and that are present inside the body. They are the part of outer organ like skin, and they are also part of internal organs. All are made up of epithelial tissue layer. Like plants have a epidermis layer, animals have a epithelial tissue layer. So where are the epithelial tissue found in the human body? The lining of the blood vessels. That means blood vessels are made up of epithelial tissue. Lining of mouth, internal structure of the mouth is made up of epithelial tissue. Kidney tubules, skin, lungs, alveoli, stomach, intestines, all are made up of epithelial tissue. Now, structure and function of epithelial tissue. The main function of epithelial tissue is to act as a barrier and separate the different organs and system from each other. It acts as a barrier. It can separate the one organ from other organ from their layer and presence. There is no space between the cells of epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue cells are tightly packed. The cells are permeable. This makes it possible them to exchange materials between different parts of the body, and it also allow the body and external environment. It is permeable, that means allow the particle pass through them. Epithelial tissue remains separated from the tissues beneath them because of thin membrane over them. So there are the types of epithelial tissue given: simple squamous, stratified squamous. Stratified means when number of the layers are joined together, then therefore stratified. Simple cuboidal, stratified cuboidal, then number of the cuboidal layers are joined together, then one stratified cuboidal. Simple columnar, and pseudo-stratified columnar. Pseudo-stratified columnar. It's look like a stratified, but it is not actually stratified. They are called pseudo-stratified columnar. Next is transitional. Transitional is found in those areas which have the cilia-like or ciliated present. So let us do the discussion and difference between these tissue. Structure. Simple squamous. They are delicate thin cell lining and possess a flat and thin structure. So where it is found? Alveoles and Bowman's capsule of the nephron kidney. Alveoles are the smaller unit of lungs where the gas exchange takes place. So the first simple squamous tissue, they are made up of simple squamous tissue. And next is Bowman capsule of nephron. Nephron is the smallest unit of kidney, function unit of kidney that have a structure through which the blood is filtered is known as Bowman capsule. The layer of the or cells are made up of simple squamous. Stratified squamous, epithelial squamous tissue cells are arranged in the several layers. They are present in skin. Our skin is made up of stratified squamous tissue. Next is columnar. They are the column-like shaped and present in intestine. Columnar are present in intestine like a column or pillar-like. Ciliated columnar have a cilia present over them. That means hair-like projection present over them. They are found in respiratory duct. They are found in respiratory duct, vaginal duct, that is known as fallopian tube, and they are found in the other cell organ where it is need to be push the molecules from one part to another part. Intestines also. Cuboidal, they are the cube shaped which are involved in absorption and secretion. Cuboidal are in the shape of cube. They are involved in absorption and secretion of substance. They are found in kidney tubules. Glandular. Glandular, the special gland cells that can secrete the substance like sweat gland in the skin. I hope students you got it well. What is the difference between these tissues? And this is the first tissue present in animals. I hope students you understand well this part. Thank you and have a nice day.